what informed your decision, what informed the directive. You weren't asked about it. There seemed to be at least a tacit acceptance that you issued the directive.
I must explain at this stage that the portfolio committee is not chaired by me. It's chaired by its chair.
Yeah.
Just to point me at where exactly does this come from as a provision that when minister wants to take a particular decision, you must consult.
There is a provision if you are taking what is called administrative action, and you're exercising a public power that constitutes administrative action. There is a provision in Paja which says that you're required to act procedurally fairly, and you must give reasons. There's a host. Your lawyers can point it out to you. In other words, you can't in the morning wake up and suck your thumb and do something. You've got to have a rational reason. Doesn't have to be the only reason. A rational reason could be a range of reasons. But Minister, with respect, I've asked you those questions. Your lawyers can give you that advice. I'm not here to give you advice with respect.
Yeah, I need to enter on record of the ad hoc committee that earlier on, there are paragraphs that you led me on, and these are paragraphs 19 to 22. Now, my legal representatives say those were wrong paragraphs in the context of what you were interested in.
You in your presentation yesterday, you addressed the constitutionality of the directive. And you referred, I didn't have to refer you to this, as legalese from paragraphs 19 through to from paragraph 19 through to 30. And in fact, we also discussed the next item in your statement, the legality of the NKPTT post. So the constitutional role, you obviously advised by your lawyers, the key paragraph is paragraph 21, which you said. I didn't read that. I didn't say that. You said it yesterday. And obviously it's from your statement. Then, so I don't understand why you would say that. Are your lawyers complaining that I am?
That's how I have recorded it. As senior counsel, I've said my legal representative is saying that those were not the paragraphs I should have been led on. I should have been led on others. But I'm doing it for the matter of the record, and we can pass and go back to the issue now that we've recorded that. Go to the current issue.
Okay, let's deal with the current issue, and we will. So you didn't inform the president before you issued the directive. You only spoke to him after you issued the directive.
I've already said so.
Okay.
Senior counsel.
So thank you. So when or how soon after the directive of 31 December did you tell the president?
I can't.
So can we at least agree on that? You're nodding yes.
Yeah, okay. Fine.
Yeah. So can we also agree that you didn't specifically, and to be fair to you, it didn't seem to me required. I'm just thinking about it actually right now, just not making this up, but what informed your decision? What informed the directive? You weren't asked about it. There seemed to be at least a tacit acceptance that you issued the directive. Khumalo's reporting that it's now going to be implemented, although in the form of a transition. It's not going to be done like you directed immediately. There's going to be a transition. So any of the concerns, all these reasons that you gave about the budget, about the house, and Adams, and although I think Adams was in the meeting, those issues you never mentioned. In other words, you didn't have to justify the director. So that you also agree. You also didn't mention that you believe that the PKTT was in fact operating illegally since 2022. You didn't mention that specifically.
Yeah, the portfolio comment.
Yeah.
No.
Again, to be fair to you, it seems that it wasn't necessary for you to do that because you've now given a directive, it must be disbanded. And although the key differences between you and Masemola and Khumalo was that you may have wanted it immediately, but you explained earlier, I think yesterday, what your understanding of this word immediately meant. It didn't mean it must be right now.
I must explain at this stage that the portfolio committee is not chaired by me. It's chaired by its chair.
Yeah.
And it's a meeting of the portfolio committee. It has got members. As minister, you get invited on specific matters, and you present on those specific matters. But because you are recording that I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I do want to, maybe at some point, maybe at this point, Chair, to request the evidence leader just to point me at where exactly does this come from as a provision that when minister wants to take a particular decision, you must consult maybe certain people or whatever. Is there any provision? Because it sounds like I've got to produce a provision where it says so, which then I breached. That's why I asked earlier on, did I breach in a constitution and so on. Now, when it comes back again, while you are asking other questions and say you didn't, it sounds like there's a provision that I omitted. Is there any provision?
There is a provision if you are taking what is called administrative action, in the exercising a public power that constitutes administrative action. There is a provision in Paja which says that you're required to act procedurally fairly and you must give reasons. There's a host, your lawyers can point it out to you. If you're taking what you appear to have taken, or what you claim you have taken executive action, then there must be a rational basis for it. In other words, you can't in the morning wake up and suck your thumb and do something. You've got to have a rational reason. Doesn't have to be the only reason. A rational reason could be a range of reasons. But Minister, with respect, I've asked you those questions. Your lawyers can give you that advice. I'm not here to give you advice with respect.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want a record.
I wanted for the record. We're dealing with the facts. This honourable committee must establish the facts in relation to its terms of reference. Then it will report back to Parliament. I've asked you about whether or not you consulted. It wasn't in respect of any legal provision that I've asked you whether you did it.
Yeah, I need to enter on record of the ad hoc committee that earlier on there are paragraphs that you led me on, and these are paragraphs 19 to 22. Now, my legal representatives say those were wrong paragraphs in the context of what you were interested in. That instead, I should have been led on paragraphs 81 and 85. I'm just recording that. I'm not wanting us to go back. But at this stage, the point is, I have on several occasions, as one honorable member there has indicated, really made an effort, a strong effort to respond to the question, but it keeps on coming up. Now, I am in a meeting of a portfolio committee chaired by the chair, and I'm led on specific matters that were important. Now, I didn't mention a particular thing. It was not what I was expected to deal with at the portfolio committee. That's the point I was trying to indicate.
Minister, can I respond to your point? You in your presentation yesterday, you addressed the constitutionality of the directive. And you referred, I didn't have to refer you to this, as legalese from paragraphs 19 through to from paragraph 19 through to 30. And in fact, we also discussed the next item in your statement, the legality of the NKPTT post. So the constitutional role, you obviously advised by your lawyers, the key paragraph is paragraph 21, which you said, this is the power to determine national policy. The second power to direct the National Commissioner. The third power to direct the Civilian Secretariat. I didn't read that. I didn't say that. You said it yesterday. And obviously it's from your statement. Then I extensively referred here to paragraphs 82. I said, this is under the heading, the chronology of events leading to the directive. We discussed this. October the 24th, 13th of November 2024, 21 November 2024. Then you say there was a meeting with Masemola on the 22nd of November. We discussed this. So I don't understand why you would say that. Are your lawyers complaining that I am?
Yes, that's how I have recorded it. As senior counsel, I've said my legal representative is saying that those were not the paragraphs I should have been led on. I should have been led on others. But I'm doing it for the matter of the record, and we can pass and go back to the issue now that we've recorded that. Go to the current issue.
Okay, let's deal with the current issue, and we will, during the break, discuss this with them. If they are dropping notes with you, they can quite easily drop a note with one of my colleagues, and I will consider them, and we will either ask for an adjournment to correct whatever we're doing wrong, or ask for an adjournment to discuss it with them.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
So just to come back to
that just has to do with the response they forwarded, as you were referring to, yeah. But that's fine.
So the submissions you made to the portfolio committee on the 5th of March. Did you discuss this matter with the president before you appeared before the portfolio committee?
Yes, I think it would have come earlier, whether it is January or February. I don't have a date, but we did.
Yeah. So did you specifically discuss with the president the disestablishment of the task team?
That was my purpose, to go and brief the president that there is a particular decision I've taken in regard to this, and I did so.
Was it? Can you recall when that discussion took place? Was it just before the directive was issued?
No, it was after the directive.
After the directive was
Yes,
issued.
it was after the directive.
So the president also saw on social media or in the media that the task team has now been disestablished by you. He also just heard about it.
Well, I'll have to give you evidence that he picked it up from social media. I don't know. What I know is that I sought an appointment and it was granted at a particular time and I went to brief him. I didn't ask whether he had seen it or not.
So you didn't inform the president before you issued the directive. You only spoke to him after you issued the directive.
I've already said so.
Okay.
Senior counsel.
So thank you. When or how soon after the directive of 31 December did you tell the president?
Pardon?
When after the 31st of December 2024 did you tell the president about the
I've
display?
already indicated that it must have been January, February. I don't have the exact date. I will check.
Okay. What did you tell him? Did you give him any reasons why you are directing that the task team be disestablished?
Well,
Or did you just tell him, by the way?
it was a short briefing with the president. It was a briefing. It wasn't a discussion to say, I at some point took this decision last year in December. And all I remember is that I did say there are matters that I have developed a very serious concern about. And I said to him, these matters, among others, have led me to disband the political clearance task team, and that possibly at some point, if I didn't do this, there may have been a call for a commission on those matters. So I decided that I would preempt any need or for such a call at some point, and I did this, and that was one of the things that I mentioned during the short briefing.
So you said it was a short briefing.
Yes. The president would have many appointments and you never get the whole day. It was a short briefing.
I suppose, except of matters of national importance, you could schedule a longer meeting with the president.
I could have made it longer.
No, you could schedule, or your chief of staff could schedule a longer meeting with the president on matters of national importance.
I should do so, or I should have.
I'm asking whether it's not perhaps more appropriate to arrange a fixed meeting with the president to have a longer time to discuss.
I do that from time to time when it is necessary.
Well, so that's why. Can we ask? I mean, was this meeting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour? How long was this meeting?
I really didn't calculate the time. I got a slot and I used it for the purpose for which I had asked the slot for, but I didn't count the minutes.
And you didn't provide him with reasons X, Y, and Z why you are disestablishing the team. You didn't furnish him with any reports or anything like that.
No, it wasn't going to include a discussion. It was just a briefing. I asked for a slot to give him a briefing, and I did so.
So it was really just to communicate to the president that this is what you have done, and the president heard what you did.
As I've said, I included briefly what the reasons could have been. I don't think I was elaborate. It was not an elaborate kind of a presentation and a discussion. It was just a briefing. that I've taken that decision.
So why do you use the word, the president was in agreement with what you did?
What should I say?
Well, it sounds to me that you conveyed what you did to the president. The president heard what you had to say and basically noted it. An agreement, let's not become technical. I think we know what an agreement means. Two or more people discuss something. They put whatever is on the table that requires an agreement. They engage and then they say, okay, fine. Here it sounds like there was no engagement. You informed the president of your decision.
I briefed the president.
Yes, you briefed the same thing. You briefed the president.
Mm-hmm.
But the president didn't engage you. He couldn't. You didn't give him any reasons. You never told him why you wanted the task team to be disestablished, so that the president could say, oh, okay, but why X, Y, and Z? And then you engage in a discussion. It was a short meeting. So you briefed him in short, and he noted what you had to say. There couldn't have been an agreement.
Senior counsel, I am pleading with you to note that there are different forms of engaging, even with the president. You can go and ask to make a presentation. If you are granted an opportunity, you will make that presentation. You can ask for a short period just to brief him on something, and then if it's granted, you do so. It takes different forms. In this instance, it was a briefing from my side, and I don't think there was anything wrong in me using that word, unless it is demonstrated to me that this was wrong. But what I'm saying in my statement, I did brief the president. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
After the effect, after the 31st.
Yes, I was just questioning whether you could say there was an agreement or that the president agreed with the director, given that it was a briefing and it was short. That's what I was questioning.
Yes.
But if you're happy with the response, then we can move on. Again, I'm not here as a judge to sit and discuss what constitutes an agreement. I've just questioned whether it was appropriate to use.
Just a moment, Honorable Nwala.
Chancellor, thanks, Judge. Just a second. I think it is important for us to explain to the witness why the evidence leader is emphasizing agreement. It's solely because the main witness had casted doubt whether the president would have agreed for a dissolution of a political killing team. So that's why the evidence leader is emphatic when it comes whether or not the president agreed. Because the main witness went to an extent of saying the president made an address in Northern Cape and he would have applauded the work done by the political killings team, and therefore the main witness does not believe that the president would have agreed to such a kind of a decision. So that's why the evidence leader is emphasizing on the agreement. Thank you very much, Chair.
May I proceed, Honorable Chair?
He has helped you.
Yeah, I asked.
Just one more moment. Honorable Malem.
No, thanks, Chair. I think we must put it simple because it's going to be a serious issue. Did the president agree to the disbandment of PKTT?
The answer in the affidavit is that I briefed the president. He agreed with the briefing I gave him.
So, Honorable Minister, is the answer yes?
Yes, as is in the affidavit.
The answer is yes. The answer which we must record is yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because the context in which
Before you continue, may I check, honorable members, are you satisfied? Can I allow the senior counsel to proceed? Thank you.
May I proceed, Honourable Chair? Thank you.
There are honorable members who are signaling time to me. So they are essentially saying that I must bring it to the attention of you and the witness that you are now on borrowed time.